University of Wisconsin Board of Regents approves a budget that'll give an extra $25 million in state funding to select campuses. And while it's a great news for a number of campuses, the state's flagship campus will receive a smaller share of the funding. Our Valina Jones has more on the impacts of this new budget.
Meeting in Madison, the Board of Regents approved a budget that would give less state funding to its flagship campus. Even with the passing vote, there were some concerns. While tuition will freeze for a fifth straight year, schools UW system officials believe are struggling the most are getting extra state funding.
This budget really represents making sure that everybody is getting as much of as financial support as they can.
16 ayes, 1 no.
$25 million originally taken out of UW System's budget in the 2015-2017 biannual budget will be distributed among the campuses. UW-Madison will get $2.9 million of those funds, while other campuses will see a larger share of money. It's a change from the normal formula that sends the campus with the most students the largest share of money.
Those of us who live in Madison woke up to those headlines saying the flagship might potentially be hurt, so I think they were probably counting on this $6.5 million. I hope in the future there'll be sufficient funding for everyone.
John Lucas, spokesperson for UW-Madison, said while the university is willing to share a portion of its allocation, quote, a redirection of this size is concerning and will make it more difficult for UW-Madison to make the kinds of investments needed. President Ray Cross says because Madison is allowed to increase out-of-state tuition, they're at a greater advantage.
If we were only redistributing the money and not giving the campus the flexibility it needs to address that challenge, then I would be seriously concerned. The last thing we want to do is negatively impact the flagship of this system.
It's not a long-term solution, but a one-time deal, according to the system.
We had an opportunity to help support some of our other campuses that are struggling as well. And when all of our campuses are strong, that helps create a strong system.
At UW-Madison, Valina Jones, WISC News 3.
And the UW-Madison annual budget will still increase 2.5%, making up 45% of the system's overall budget. The vote was based on a preliminary approval of the state budget. Governor Walker and the full legislature could still make changes.